All right, we're live. That was Stephanie's rendition of Jefferson Starships. We built the city. She's a great singer. I'm sure you all agree. Uh, this is gonna be a quick live. I really don't care if anybody joins me on this live. Honestly, I'm keeping this up for posterity because I need. Hey, Anthony, I need to ask you guys, why can't I be happy? Like seriously, why can't I be happy? So I think, hello Miranda. I think I might have alluded to it in another live stream about how things are getting tense between fans of Super M and fans of BTS. And I'm gonna say fans because I don't like to use fandom labels, because the minute you say fandom labels, people say, well, that's not what a real fan of such and such is like. That's why I'm saying, not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. If you follow me on Twitter, I had quote tweeted about a thread that somebody wrote on Twitter talking about how Super M was an embarrassment and a humiliation for Korea because of their album bundling and them making number one on Billboard. And then there's been a couple of competing articles about the whole Billboard thing. I think Rolling Stone was like, it's cheating. BuzzFeed was like, it's not cheating, so on and so forth. I really could give a damn. This is where I need to talk about something that makes me upset. And this is why I say, why can't I be happy? The lead up to Super M debuting on Billboard was a really great time for people who are fans of the members of Super M. Now, I'm not an XOL. I like EXO, but I'm not an XOL. I am a Shawwall. I absolutely am a Shawwall. That's why when I introduce myself, I'm like, hey, it's me, Shawwall 360, because that is my fandom. And it has been my fandom for a long time. I spend the most money on the fandom. I care the most about the members. Like, they're family to me, practically. And so Super M was a really exciting project for me. It was an exciting project for me because, first of all, Shiny, like I said, is my first love. I love them tremendously. Taemin, I think, is super talented. He's always wanting to do projects with Kai because Kai is his best friend. The other people involved in this project are people that I admire their talent. I think Becken is a great singer. I don't know that much about Lucas, but I know that Tin is an incredible dancer. Mark is extremely hardworking and is actually quite the clever little rapper. And Taeyong is also an incredibly hardworking person as well, both in dance and in rap. So for me, this was a great little subunit thing. When I first decided to start purchasing items for this group, I didn't do it with the thought that I'm going to help them go number one. That's never been my thought process when it came to buying. It really was, I'm going to buy Taemin's cover because I support Taemin. I'm going to buy a group copy because I want to see pictures of the other people. And when you buy a member copy, you only get that member's photographs. And I'm going to watch the music video. And also, they're doing hand signed posters. Of course, I'm going to buy a hand signed poster. And they're going on tour. I'm definitely going to buy a ticket to go see them because I know a lot of people who want to go to this tour as well, and it'll give me an opportunity to see Taemin, support the one member of Shiny that's actually promoting, and meet up with friends. So like all of the things were there to make this comeback something really fun for me personally. And for about, I would say, a week or two, it was so much fun. For those of you who are outside of kind of the SM fan bubble, for those of us who have been big fans of SM, individual fans of these groups, it was so much fun seeing their interactions, seeing them perform at the Capitol building, seeing the lead up to them having this album come out. All the things were a lot of fun. And then they make number one. And all of a sudden, the fun is fucking over. All of a sudden, it's you cheated to get to number one. Y'all are a bunch of losers. You don't have the streaming numbers. You're this, you're that, you're whatever. Now, this is why I specifically can't have nice things. Because one main point I have, and answer me however you need to, why are you so fucking pressed about it? I don't recall anybody in K-pop fandom having any commentary to say when DJ Khaled didn't get number one the week that he came out and Tyler the Creator did. I do not recall anybody on my timeline talking about the injustice of DJ Khaled thinking that he can bundle his way to number one. I had music fans who talked about how DJ Khaled is a big old ass baby, but I didn't hear any K-pop people saying anything about the DJ Khaled bundling situation in relation to Tyler the Creator. I remember when Nicki Minaj got mad because Travis Scott got number one because he was bundling his album with his clothing and his tour sales. And she was upset and actually was like halfway threatening Stormy. And I don't recall any K-pop fans from any particular fandoms having anything to say about that situation. But all of a sudden, it is bundling is cheating. Fuck y'all. Y'all are a bunch of losers. You're a national disgrace. But these are also some of the same people who are like, my fandom or my group is not K-pop. They're just an act from Korea. And I feel like if that's what you truly believe, if you truly believe that your act is not K-pop, if you truly believe that your act is the same as a Nicki Minaj, a DJ Khaled, Travis Scott, Tyler the Creator, all great artists, by the way, just saying, then why does it matter to you what happened to get Super M to number one? Why are you so damn pressed? Like, seriously, why are you upset? If you are considering your group is not even in the same genre as Super M, why does this matter to you? And you know what's even more infuriating about it is how fucking xenophobic it is, because it is mostly international fans who aren't Korean, don't speak Korean, don't have anything to do with Korea, talking about how Super M and SM are a national embarrassment for Korea.
Excuse me?
And the reason that's so fucking infuriating is because you're assuming that the pride of an entire nation is dependent on the reputation of a musical act. That'd be like somebody saying that America should have been embarrassed when Ashley Simpson got caught lip syncing on SNL. Like, America should be embarrassed when Miley Cyrus is swinging her ass naked on a wrecking ball. That's embarrassing for her. But that has nothing to do with the pride I have in myself as an American. But again, if your group has nothing to do with the same music that this other group is doing, why are you so fucking pressed? Why can't you just let me have my nice thing? Why can't you leave me alone? And I'm speaking as somebody who supports both groups. So I'm not speaking as a hater. You can go back through my catalog. You can look through all my videos. I bought Or You Late Too. I bought Dark and Wild when it came out. I've been a fan for a while. So I'm not speaking as somebody who's like, oh, I hate them, yuck. No, I'm speaking as somebody who has been buying, will continue to buy, buying into the future, all that. Why can't you just let me have my thing? Why do you feel so fucking threatened? Because to me, more than anything, it doesn't speak to you saying, oh, you know, I don't like unfairness when it comes to the Billboard charts. It speaks to, I feel threatened. And you know why I say that? Because I remember when it was your turn. I remember when your group wanted to reach number one and sold their first million seller. And I remember a certain fandom that ends with an L saying, oh, well, you sold your first million, but our group has sold this many million, and you only sold your first million because you did A, B, C, and D. I remember that. And I remember thinking, this sounds ridiculous. This sounds like some jealousy shit. This sounds like some haterade. This sounds like you're hard pressed. And so this goes both ways. So I remember when BTS was trying to get up the charts and EXO-Ls were fucking hating and talking about how their records weren't valid. And now the same fucking thing has happened. And I remember what you had to say back then. You were like, quit being such bitter bitches. Why don't you appreciate instead of hate? All this other stuff. So why do you have to step on this now? What right do you have? And you who are not Korean, what right do you have to say that they're an embarrassment to the nation? Who are you? Who the fuck are you?
We don't know you.
So that's why I'm saying, if you're not pressed about it, if it doesn't matter, if you're going to be Gucci regardless of what's happening with the situation, then keep it cute. Keep it cute. Keep it over there. Do what you need to do. Don't come over here with that bullshit. And I think the reason I'm so upset about it more than anything is because of Taemin. Honestly, if it was just Ten and Lucas and Taeyong and Mark and Kai and Becken, I probably wouldn't care all that much. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you shit on Taemin. Because Taemin's been through too much. He's been through way too much. You know, Taemin has had to deal with people practically misgendering him. Taemin has had to deal with, you know, people doubting his talents. Hell, even as a Shawwal, I almost doubted Taemin's talents. When Taemin came out with a solo before Jonghyun did, I remember thinking, that's fucked up. But you know what? I was still here for it. I gave it a chance. Taemin has been in Japan by himself. Taemin has basically been the person to say that SM can have solos. Like, he's really done a lot as an individual.
My bias.
But more than that, as a member of SHINee, Taemin, along with 3 other very brave men, had to put on their game face and recover from the loss of their brother. And Taemin has done it beautifully. He has really been graceful about approaching this situation, which is still very fresh. It hasn't even been 2 whole years. And he's out here putting himself out there in order to be able to try to do something that'll bring him joy. When he's missing his other members, he's been out here promoting by himself. He talks about how much it's hard for him to promote by himself because he's used to being a unit member. And then you guys have the nerve to shit on his group. Like it's no big thing. Like, they did something personally to attack you after he's been through so much. And I find it even more ironic too, because prior to Super M debuting, the Hollywood Reporter did a terrible article about BTS. It was fucking awful. And I sat up here and I defended BTS against that terrible ass article. But in the article, they basically said K-pop will drive you to kill yourself. And they mentioned Jonghyun without mentioning his fucking name. And they
So do you want to fight or not?
They pulled a line from his suicide note.
So do you want to fight or not? Because they're acting like they want to whoop it.
And I remember sitting up here and defending BTS against a shitty interview. I sat up here and I defended SHINee against a fucking terrible misuse of a tragedy. And it seemed at that moment that maybe we were all of one accord, that maybe we were going to be okay. But instead, here we are now, fucking fighting and pissing each other off and saying all kinds of reckless shit. And that's the reason why I'm not going to say it's armies. I'm not going to say it's armies because I don't want to do that to a fandom. Because if one Shawwal acts up, I'd rather you say a SHINee fan than a Shawwal. But I'm going to say, for those of you who are out here fucking hard pressed to say anything nice, who've got to be so on the defensive and everything else, what does it benefit you? What does it behoove you? How does it make things better for your group? Especially in light of, like, where we fucking are right now in fucking history. You know, we're all talking about how hate commentary is what led to Sully having issues, and Sully never did anything to anybody. What the fuck is Super M doing to you? Like, real talk. What is Super M doing to you? How are they hurting you? For you to have anything, how are they hurting anybody? The people who should be mad about Super M making #1 are the fans of Summer Walker. That's who should be mad.
True.
Not you. You have no skin in this game. So
how dare you?
So what is the fucking
Summer
problem?
Walker released her new album and it was amazing. What is this? What is this Korean stuff?
So, like, what is the problem? Why are you so damn pressed? If you're not a fan of Summer Walker, like, literally, what is the fucking problem? Why has it got to be so much fucking hate? And again, I talked about Taemin going through so much. Taemin is the part of SHINee, and SHINee's sister group is FX. This last week or so has been fucking horrible for him. It's been horrible for everybody that's been related to SM.
Only a few months away from Jonghyun's passing.
Yeah, it's about to be the 2-year anniversary of Jonghyun's passing. This has been terrible. This has been a terrible time.
And y'all still hate.
And then y'all want to just, again, pile on the bullshit. And for no fucking reason. for no fucking reason. And also, I have to wonder if, like, the people who say this stuff, if they're actually fans, only because, like, if you're actually fans, then you know that Taemin and Jimin are friends. You know that Jimin and Kai are friends. You know that they're all a part of this big friendship group. So, do you really think they want to hear you talking shit about their friend? Do you think they're not happy for their friend? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. And it's been a long time since I've said anything about fandom drama because I felt like the best way to deal with it is to not give it air, give it light, because then it can die in the darkness. But here we are again with the same old fucking petty ass bullshit that we were doing years ago that I thought we were all finally getting over. But no, we're not. We're right back to where we fucking started at. And I'm ashamed of every step backwards that we're taking. I'm ashamed of the fact that almost 2 years after Jonghyun passed away, we're no further along when it comes to the way that people talk about celebrities on the internet. We're no further along in addressing mental health issues in Korea. Fuck it, on Jonghyun's anniversary of his death, I talked about the fact that it didn't seem like anything was changing, and here we are again, almost 2 years later, and nothing is fucking changing. And I'm truly, absolutely fucking sick of it. I really am fucking sick of it. And I'm just going to say this one more time because I've said it before and I need it to be said over and over again until somebody's fucking listening. The labels have got to do something about this. I don't think that Big Hit needs to tell y'all to have some fucking sense. But if y'all can't grow some fucking sense, they might need to remind y'all of who you represent. Because you need to understand, you look crazy right now. You are the opposite of all the positivity and all of the kind words that you're supposed to represent.
I feel like those people are the reason why, like, American YouTubers and just American people on social media in general think that the K-pop fandom is bad.
I think that, again, as I said way earlier, a lot of the impression that people have of K-pop has to do with xenophobia. I think a lot of people, especially Western people, when they think about Asians, they think of them in two different ways. They either think about Asian people as being like smart, math inclined, nerdy, I hate to say this, small penis, short people. They think about them they think about kung fu, they think about Chinese food, they think about passive submissive women. Like, they have all these stereotypes when they think about Asian people. And K-pop feeds a stereotype that a lot of white people and Western people have about Asian people in general, that their men are effeminate, that their culture is a joke, and they are nothing to be taken seriously, and that them being good at singing and dancing is because they are a product of a regimented system and they're not real artists. Boo. And as a K-pop fan, I fight the fight every time to let people know it's not that. It's so much more. It is so much more. But then the minute something like this happens and they see us fucking clowning in these streets, they're like, and that's the reason why I don't like K-pop.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I think K-pop fans are toxic.
And that only happens for the ones who even fucking know what K-pop is. Because most people still don't know what it is. You know, these young people living in this bubble, these people from like 13 to maybe 27, their bubble is filled with people that live the same life that they live. Mm-hmm. I'm 40. My bubble doesn't consist of that. My bubble consists of a little bit of my daughter's age group, a little bit of my mother's age group, and then a lot of my age group. And I can tell you, my mother's age group don't know shit about BTS. I can tell you my age group really don't know shit about BTS for the most part.
Yeah, Grandma
and I can tell
thinks that K-pop is a bunch of boys dancing and singing on a stage.
Yeah, and for my daughter, when it comes to K-pop, people say, oh, is that BTS thing?
No. Or they'll like NCT. NCT and BTS or ATEEZ
But
are
for
the real ones that people like.
But for the most part, they don't listen to K-pop on the reg.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the ins and outs and the who's the maknae, and you'd be hard pressed to get people to name a member of some of these groups. K-pop is not this super known thing. We're still very much a niche, and because we're so much a niche, it would benefit us to not fucking eat ourselves alive. It would benefit us to not be fucking crabs in a barrel and pulling each other down because we don't know how to say shit nice to each other. We don't know how to not be crazy around each other. I would love to see from somebody one time that Super M or the members of Super M had things shitty to say about other groups. I would love to see a time when BTS had something shitty to say about other groups. Both BTS and NCT have probably talked about, haters are gonna hate and, we're the best. But that's what you do when you rap. That's what you do when you have bravado. But no one has said, and specifically, this group right here could eat a dick. No one's done that. So again, what's with the fucking vitriol? Why can't you just let us have some fucking fun? Seriously, just let us have some fucking fun. How are we hurting you? What are we doing bad for you? And I'm speaking as somebody who bought albums for both groups. I bought more BTS albums than I bought Super M albums.
Well, that's because Super M doesn't have much of it.
Well, I'm talking about when this comeback came out, I bought a Taemin version, I bought a Kai version, and I bought a group version. That's 3 copies of the same album. When BTS's Persona came out, I bought 4 copies of the same album. Actually, no, I take that back. I actually bought 7 copies of this 8, 7 copies of that album because I bought 3 more on top of the 4 that I bought. So I'm speaking as somebody who's supporting both groups. When I tell you this shit is foolishness, this shit is insane, this shit is crazy, this shit makes no sense. And also, it definitely negates the voice of those of us who are multi-fandom. One of the things that I have definitely come to accept over time, and I hate that it's like this, there's no home for those of us who are multi-fandom. Yeah, people fight everywhere. That don't make it right. It doesn't make it fucking right. There's a lot of shit that happens everywhere that shouldn't happen. It doesn't make it fucking right. The world is rife with murder and pedophilia and racism and rape and all kinds of other shit. It doesn't make it right. So to say, well, the Barbs and the Barty gang hate each other, those people actually said things about each other. I can get why the Barbs don't like Barty gang and why Barty gang don't like Barbs, because Nicki Minaj has been shady towards Cardi B. Cardi B has been shady towards Nicki Minaj.
Ripping off my song.
This hasn't happened with these two groups. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. Show me one example where that's happened. Because if you can show it to me, I'll eat my fucking words. But it hasn't happened.
No, I haven't heard to this day.
So don't come at me with the whole, well, it happens all the time in music. People that fight like that have a reason to fight. They have a reason to say, you said something shitty about my artist, so I don't like you. But this is not what's happening here. And back to what I was talking about before I got distracted by somebody who's totally missing the point here. When it comes to being a multi-fan, I feel like we don't have a space anymore. And I read something on Twitter, and I believe I reposted it. Well, again, like I said, it's not the same thing because there was real animosity there. And right here, it's just not that way. But I will say this, as a multi-fandom, it is really hard for me to find a place, because the minute you start being a fan of one thing and you think that you've found a group of people who agree with you, somebody in that group is eventually going to shit on somebody you like. And it makes you feel like, I'm not welcome in this space. So then you move to the next space. And then somebody shits on something you like, and you feel like, I'm not welcome in this space. So you move on to the next space. I cannot tell you how many people I've had to unfollow on Twitter because of the shitty things they've had to say about one group or another. I've had to unfollow people because of shitty things they said about EXO, I've had to unfollow people about shitty things they said about BTS. I've had to unfollow people about shitty things they said about 17 or 101. I've had to mute people about shitty stuff they said about X1. It is fucking terrible. And I'm a fan. Yes, I'm a Shawwal, like that's my definitive fandom, but I'm a fan and I'm spending money and I'm buying albums and I'm going to tours and I'm doing all this crap. And it's like, I'm doing all these things, trying to be the most positive person I can, and constantly, it's like there's no fucking safe space. I quit following Dean's outro because she was being shitty about BTS. I quit following the LGBT Minky because she was being shitty about BTS. I quit following several other people because they were being shitty about EXO. There's so many times when I went into spaces with people that I thought were really cool and they said some wild shit and I had to back out. And as it goes, my following count goes lower and lower and lower because people inevitably show their ass. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm really fucking tired of it. Like, I would love for someone to start some kind of either app or an amino that you get flagged if you say hateful shit. Like, you get booted out if you say hateful shit. Because I can tell you from the limited amount of experience I have being on social media when it comes to being in K-pop, it wasn't always like this. It really wasn't always like this. You know, back in the old days, there may be some competition for who's going to get number one, and we might think, oh, that's not really fair. But it was never the level of vitriol we have now. It was never as fucking hateful as it is now. And more than anything, it was okay to love more than one person. It was okay to be friendly about one person. And I spent And I spent way too much time concentrating on BTS, Super M, EXO-L. Let me tell you about a couple other group wars that I'm fucking sick of. I'm fucking sick of Blinks and Onces fighting with each other. I'm fucking sick of people who support Blackpink acting like no other girl group is allowed to exist. I'm tired of Onces constantly being in people's mentions talking about, well, maybe you would have flourished if you had just followed. I'm tired of those shitty comments in Twitter. I'm tired of when you go to a thread about something horrific in the news, you're like, well, this wouldn't have happened if they had just stand, and then there's like a video clip of some K-pop person.
Yeah, those, like, that's an inappropriate time.
You know,
you don't know that.
Yeah, it's just fucking... It's taken all the fun out of it. It's taken all the fun out of it. And I'm just fucking tired. Maybe it's because I'm old. It could be because I'm old. I'm 40 years old, and maybe I just don't have the stamina to keep up with trifling young people stuff. But even when I was a young person, I didn't have time for that bullshit then either.
Me too.
You know, I remember being a teenager, and I really had no time for that. And people used to cut up then, but it just feels like more now than anything, it's fucking ugly and hateful and mean-spirited and spiteful. And I'm really, really tired, y'all. I'm just really fucking tired. And if you want to unsub to me because I'm saying all the things I'm saying, have fucking at. If you want to downvote this video, have fucking at. I am down, I think, 100 subscribers for the year. And I haven't missed a single one. And you know why I haven't missed a single one? Because this is my fucking channel. And I don't do this to keep subscribers. I don't do this to gain followers. I do this for me. I do this for me. Because this shit used to be fun. And talking to people and making friends and talking about K-pop was fun. What's not fucking fun is getting on this internet and talking about all the drama in these streets. What's not fucking fun is talking about how vicious and spiteful and everything else people have been. What's not fucking fun is having to unfollow people on social media because every time they could be saying something super positive, they got to end it with it. And that's why I don't like that fan group. Because, again, we just cannot have anything nice. And just to make sure that I'm being even killed here, because, again, I don't believe that this is a problem for armies or a problem for XOLs or this is a problem for Shawwalls. I think this is a problem with fans. I think this is a problem with fans because people have gone beyond the point of understanding that as much as this shit may be fun and games to you, it's fucking with people. It's really fucking with people. And it's not fun. And what brought it to a head for me as well, besides just, this past week or so, dealing with all the stuff with Sully and having to get all this hate piled onto Super M when Taman is in a really vulnerable place right now. Most of SM is in a really vulnerable place right now. What also kind of brought it to a head was that my real life K-pop friend, apparently people have been dumping on her, and I'm not saying that she's innocent because she said some bad things, and well, I wouldn't even say bad things. She just said some things that people might feel aren't great. But for the most part, she's a genuinely nice person. I've had a chance to spend time with her in person twice. Like, we did a whole coffee shop lunch date thing. We went to go see Minho's movie together. And we spent hours with each other talking and everything else. I've got to know her. She's a really cool person. Y'all almost drove her off of social media this last week. Literally almost drove her off social media this last week with that hateful bullshit. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of losing people behind this too, because what you don't hear about, because they're so damn quiet, is all the people who have just given up K-pop. I can't tell you how many people I started this K-pop journey with on YouTube, on Twitter, or whatever else, that just don't want anything to do with it anymore. You know, I remember the Jenny Lee used to be one of my favorite YouTubers. Her and Tina Davidson were our friends. We're friends. I don't know what the state of their friendship is now because both of them are very quiet when it comes to not their videos. But I remember the Jenny Lee having a channel here on YouTube that was quite popular, and her getting out of K-pop and her saying it's just not the same. And she very, very rarely talks about K-pop anymore. I think the last thing she said about K-pop is that she liked the new Super Junior. I think that's what the last thing that she said. But, she got out of it. Onomania, she got out of it. Trying to think whoever else. Pamela M got out of it. She used to do a lot of Big Bang stuff. She got out of it. So many people that have been friends here, so many years of Secret Santas, people that I joined along with have gotten out of it because it's not fun anymore. Fucking Katie, um, TK, KT, Katie here on YouTube. Fucking Katie, she's a sweet, sweet girl. Like, really, really nice. She's contemplating getting out of it because people have been so shitty in her mentions and so shitty in her comment section and so shitty on her Curious Cat. Talking bullshit from everything having to do with why don't you buy this group? Why don't you keep your photo cards? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? To even people saying you must be a Korea boo because you wear contact lenses and you have long hair. What? Like, seriously, what? Like, everything crappy to say. And these are nice people. They're not bad people. Carolyn, we all love Carolyn. We loved her back when she was May. We love her now that she's Carolyn. She gets fucking shitty ass comments from people. And she's been nothing but kind. Nothing but kind. Never a bad word. But she gets fucking shitty comments. Her Curious Cat sometimes can get extra wild. She gets people critiquing her because she wants to trade for her bias in a group. So let's say she unboxes Monster X and she's looking for Wano cards and she gets Hyungwon or she gets somebody else in the group and she wants to trade. People are like, why do you trade? If you was a real fan, you would accept whatever cards you got. You trying to trade just shows you're not a real fan because real fans... It is just like, you've got a woman who has paid a lot of money to see Monster X in person. She bought the VIP package. She buys every version of every album. And she buys the Japanese shit too. And your comment is that she's not a real fan because she wants to trade for her bias. Get the whole fuck out of here. Just literally take it over there. But I think about that all the time, about the ones who've just they've quit. They don't do it anymore. They refuse to have anything to do with it anymore because it's gotten so fucking hateful and bad and mean-spirited and everything else. And that's not even including the ones who got out of it because they couldn't compete anymore. There's a lot of people who got out of it because they couldn't deal with the people who were on here with these $1,000 hauls while they're just unboxing maybe one or two albums at a time. There used to be a time when I could do a video with one CD and it would do decent. And if I did 3 CDs, people would be excited because that's a haul. Now, if you do 1 or 2 CDs, it's no big deal. What people want to see is people want to see you open up a big ass box filled to the brim with merch, with all stuff that's super collectible that you can't get unless you have a connect that lives in Korea or Japan. And then people are like, all right, queen. And that's on videos where people hardly say anything sometimes. And it just, it really, it hurts my heart in a very strong way. It really does. It hurts my heart in a very strong way. And that's the reason why you don't see that many unboxings on my channel anymore. You really don't. I mean, I buy shit all the time. I just bought ATEEZ's albums. I'll even show you because I don't want you guys to think I'm up here lying. Because, again, I don't unbox stuff very often, so people think I don't buy albums no more. I bought both the ATEEZ albums. I also have their anniversary album coming. Those people that are in my group chat know that I ordered that as well. I'm still buying K-pop all the time. But I don't show it on my channel because that's not the kind of traffic I'm trying to drive here. That, and I can't compete with that anymore. You know, I can't do what Katie does. I can't do what May does. Part of it is because I'm a parent. I got fucking bills to pay. But the other part of it is just because I'm not trying to be in that competition. And I never was in that kind of competition. It wasn't about competing for me. It was about sharing the knowledge, exploring things with friends, giving my opinion, and, you know, just being a part of the community. It never was about having the most followers or getting people to watch my videos first. I never paid for EMS shipping for regular fucking albums. I paid for EMS shipping twice for Japanese stuff. But when it comes to things like this, I never pay for EMS shipping because I could get it whenever it comes out. Whenever it comes out. But now it's like you have to be the first person putting your shit on the internet. You have to have all the versions of everything when you get on the internet. You have to buy 1,000 photo cards at one go. You have to have huge hauls. Lately, the thing is that you have to do the photo card organization videos. Like, you have to follow all these fucking trends and do the absolute most just to be considered a halfway decent YouTuber when it comes to the K-pop unboxing community. And it's exhausting. So I'm just out of it. I'm just out of it. I still unbox a little shit here and there, but for the most part, I'm fucking out of it. And so this conversation has definitely devolved. It definitely has devolved to what it is. But I say all that to say that I understand that my perspective on things is not a popular perspective. I understand that people will say that the opinions that I have are the opinions of an old fucking lady, and you're damn right, because I'm 40 years old, I'm an old fucking lady. But
I agree, though.
It grieves me in a very special place to see things be like this, because I've thought a lot about my channel. I've thought a whole lot about my channel. And there was a time when I thought that I would not necessarily give my channel, but that I would pass my channel on to my daughter. Not because I feel like people aren't here for me, they're just here for the CDs, but because, you know, I thought it would be a fresh perspective for people to hear about the same things I'm talking about, but from somebody younger. And so I was like, you know, maybe instead of people hearing from me, it would be something cool for people to hear from my daughter. Hear the perspective of somebody who was practically raised in K-pop and how they feel about things and what they see and everything else. But seeing the way people are on fucking Twitter, the way they are on my channel, the way they are on other people's channels, I wouldn't dare do that to my child. Would not dare. I wouldn't open her up to you fucking vultures if you paid me. And for those of you I'm calling vultures, I'm not talking about the ones who are my friends here. You know who I'm talking about, right? But I would not open her up to that. I sometimes wonder if I made a mistake even showing her on my channel because people are so fucking negative and mean. But yeah, I wouldn't do that to her. I wouldn't do that to her because it has gotten to the point where I sometimes wonder, what the hell am I doing here? I seriously do. I wonder, like, what the hell am I doing here? Because I don't feel welcome. I don't feel a part of it. I feel fucking aggrieved. I feel saddened. I feel remorse. I feel regret because I still love it. But I feel like it's just, y'all won't let it be fun. Y'all won't let it be a thing we can enjoy. Y'all won't let it be something that makes people want to get involved. Y'all won't let it be something that people don't feel shame about or people don't feel uncomfortable about. And I'm just tired. I'm just really fucking tired. I'm not going to let shitty people push me out of what I want cuz I'm too grown for that. I am. But if I get to the point where I'm just tired of the struggle, I'm not going to keep doing this just to fucking do it. Right now, I still have the fight in me. Right now, I still have the will to be spicy as I want to be in these comments and on my channel and everything else. But when I get to the point where I'm exhausted, where I can't even build up the energy to do this, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I remember when I had to leave the community because I had personal stuff going on and I did a goodbye video and I cried in that video because I hated having to give up my channel in order to do things for my life. It was really tough because I had come to need the community in a real way. But also around the same time that I left, the community started to get super toxic and bad. I started to get some of the worst comments I'd ever had. I started to get more downvotes than I had ever had before. People were going back to my old videos and downvoting them because they were mad about things I said in new videos. And I remember wondering, like, will there be a place for me when I come back? And when I came back, things were pretty positive and I was pretty happy about it. As things went on, it started to be that people realized I wasn't the same Shawwell 360 I was when I first started doing unboxings and videos and stuff on YouTube, but it wasn't really that big a deal. But then lately, I've been blessed that I have a core group of viewers that they're down for the ride and they're willing to listen to me and the ramblings that I do. But I noticed that there's another group of people that, depending on what the video is about, they're literally on there to see if you're going to be complimentary or not. They're literally on there to see, are you going to say something that I can drag you in the comment section for? There are people that are on there literally to try to entrap you into whatever narrative they're looking at pursuing that evening. And I don't want anything to do with that. And there's no way to prevent that from happening. There's no way to get caught, to not be caught in those crosshairs. And it just really sucks. It just really sucks because now for the people who have been writers and have been here all this time, I don't want to even be here for y'all sometimes because I don't want those people to get the chance to talk to me in the crazy ways that they talk to me. I had a video on my channel where I compared two BTS light sticks. It's still on my channel. And it's on there because I get like 5 cents a week for that video. So that's why it's still there. I did a video comparing BTS light sticks and the margin of dislikes to likes was so strange to me because in the video, I didn't call the light stick ugly. I didn't say anything mean about the group. The main gist of that unboxing was that the light stick that I ordered, the official light stick, did not light up because there was an issue with the battery cartridge. And I read the instructions on camera, or at least I showed myself looking at the instructions. Um, and even after looking at the instructions and seeing if there's anything I needed to remove or anything I need to replace, or if I didn't put in the battery casing correctly, I couldn't see where I did anything wrong, and the light stick still didn't work. And I talked about that because I showed it in real time, the light stick not working. The comments were, "You're dumb because you put it in backwards. You're not a real fan because a real fan wouldn't put stuff like this on the internet." Like, it was so it was so weird to get the feedback I got when it was one of the most cut and dry, here's example A, here's example B videos. And it was still, you hateful bitch this. I had people trying to talk to me bad in different languages because they assumed I wouldn't know what they were saying, but Google Translate is out here and that girl works hard. And yeah, it is really, it was eye-opening. It was eye-opening because it is the most popular video on my channel. But it was also eye-opening because it really let me know how much things have changed. Because prior to that being the most watched video on my channel, the other most watched video on my channel was my video talking about Minzy leaving 2NE1. And when Minzy left 2NE1, I was on here talking about, congratulations, girl, get yours, do what you need to do. And the commentary was pretty even killed. It was pretty much like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But that video was like the start of me feeling like, fuck if I'll ever do an unboxing again. Like, the chats are pretty low key for me. They don't require any investment really other than my time reading articles and shit like that. But like the unboxing, that pretty much confirmed to me I need to not be doing unboxings because I'm not going to have people, again, running up my comments with some bullshit behind me literally showing you an album that I received in the mail and the contents of said album. I'm not willing to take that kind of critique from just showing you what I got. I'm not willing to have people talk about how rich I am just for showing what I got. I'm not willing to have people talk about how poor I am behind showing people what I got. I don't want to hear people criticize me because there's something missing from my collection. I don't want to hear people criticizing me because they think I buy too much stuff. I don't want to hear people criticizing me because I only collect my bias in BTS. I don't want to hear people criticizing me because I do anything else related to what the fuck I want to do. I don't want to hear that. But it's there. It's there. And so I really do have to make the decision, like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I miss Top Min Kwan. She used to post a lot more videos on YouTube. And while her following was never huge, what I loved about her videos was that she gave something that a lot of other people didn't get. She did unboxings of a lot of TVXQ, DBSK stuff that there just weren't that many unboxings on the internet. So it was nice to see. She doesn't really do that no more. Instagram, she's more active on, but when it comes to the YouTubes, not really. I miss her channel a lot because she's good people and I like to see good people flourish in the world. I hate to see them diminished. I miss Onu Mania a lot because she's just a really beautiful person. And I hate the fact that people ran her off this platform. I miss the Jenny Lee. I enjoyed the Jenny Lee tremendously. She and Tina Davidson were the two people that encouraged me, besides M Girl Personal, to show my face on camera. Because they didn't show their face all the time, but when they did, it kind of made me feel like I was closer to them. I miss any number of other people that I used to follow whose names I can't recall because it's been so long since they posted things. I miss our old community, and I often wonder when things got like this for us, I wonder how we let things get like this for us. I wonder if there's anything we could do to get things back where they used to be. And don't get me wrong, I understand that as an old person, I have what they call nostalgia bias, where I'm always going to think that the past was better than what it really was. But I don't think I'm exaggerating when I tell you that 3 years ago, things were better than it is now. It's not like I'm talking about things that happened in 1972. I'm talking about 3 fucking years ago. And I seriously think that things were easier 3 years ago than they are now. And I don't know how to go back. I don't think you can go back. I think we have to live in this new reality. But it really sucks. It really sucks that to be on here, I've got to be this way. I've got to allow myself to be exposed to the harassment. I've got to turn the other cheek when people come at me sideways. It's not fair. It's not fair. But since when has life ever been fair? So I know I haven't read as many of your comments, and I want to apologize to the person earlier who wasn't trying to start a fight when they were talking about Barb's versus Barty gang. I don't want you to take it that way. I was in my feelings, so I apologize. Because I can apologize. I can be a bigger person. I can apologize. But, and I'm not saying a bigger person, I'm like, just in general, I can be a person who's willing to admit their mistakes.
Oh, because I was about to say, is that targeted at anyone?
But I'm just so incredibly frustrated. I'm frustrated. Really, really frustrated. You're gonna get me copyrighted strike with that. So I'm gonna talk about something positive before I finish this video because I don't want it to be all just, everything's downhill, shit. ATEEZ has their anniversary album coming out. I've ordered a copy of it. I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be a good time. I have pre-ordered Hayes' album and Groovy Room's album. I have Cold's Control Me coming in the mail soon. I have not given up on the... Fuck, I can't even talk about it. I'm still going to do my K-hip-hop collection video. It's coming. Don't know when, but it's coming. I haven't given up on that. Later this week, I will have a Secret Santa video posted to my channel because I am a part of Secret Santa this year, and we do videos, these introduction videos, and Ashley Epidemic's video was last week, so this week will be my video. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to film it because I'm so out of practice when it comes to unboxings, but also because, everybody's pretty much unboxed anything that I wanted to unbox and talk about because Ashley Epidemic literally did those ATEEZ albums in her video, so I'm not going to do them. And I think somebody else did the BTS summer package, so I won't be doing that even though I have that. And I have some other BTS stuff I got in a trade, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. And I don't think my Cold album is going to come in time. I know for a fact my Groovy Room and my Hayes album are not going to come in on time because they haven't even shipped yet. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be unboxing, to be quite honest with you. But it'll be something. It'll be something. It'll be mostly me talking, but it'll be something. I will have content on this channel. And on Saturday night, I will be doing the second meeting of the K-pop Fans After Dark, K-FAD. Super quiet. The Discord is super quiet because no one wants to participate, but fuck it, I should have known that was going to be the case anyway. I'm probably going to end up closing it soon. But on the video that I did previous to now, when I talked about what did I talk about? I talked about Minho's movie. When I did the video talking about Minho's movie, I put a link to a fan fiction in the description box. You need to go back to that video and you need to look at the description box because there is a video, not a video, there is a link to a fan fiction called Not All Is Fair in Love and War, and it's by an author whose online name is Liliac, and that person is a writer on asianfanfics.com, which used to be my home for fan fiction for many a year. And that particular fan fiction is one of my favorite fan fictions of all time because it is just really written very descriptively. It's a historical setting, takes place during the Korean War. Also, I will warn you ahead of time, it does involve a major character death. And the reason I'm warning you is because when it comes to Shiny, who are the subject of this fan fiction, a lot of people can't deal with major character death. I will give you the spoiler. Junghyun is not the character who dies. I will save that for you. But it still can be very rough because it's a very brutal death. So just I'm letting you know that now. And it deals with a lot of themes having to do with homophobia and just it's a very tense fan fiction, bit of a slow burn. But like I said, it is written very, very well. And it was one of the first fan fictions that inspired me to want to write fan fiction of my own, which I only did it very briefly, but still, it was important to me. And it was one of the fan fictions that I read that let me know that fan fiction was more than just, and their eyes met across the room and all of a sudden I knew that I was in love. It was more than that.
Who
And
is this? Stephanie Meyer?
I'm just saying, like, it was more than that. Like, it was written in a way that if they weren't talking about Shiny, I still would have enjoyed the story because it was just so incredibly well written. So that will be the next K-Fad. I saw a recommendation for doing House of Cards, which is BTS fanfic. I don't know if I want to do it. I think there's some BTS themes in that one that I have to think about it. Hold on right there. Let me bring out something because it relates to us talking about this. Where? Oh, there it is. So many things. So little space. So a while back, I talked about fanfic art, and this is a book that I bought quite a while ago. I would say probably close to a year ago. But this is from a fanfic artist named Noxim, who's on Twitter and on Instagram. And this is the book right here. It was one of the seconds book. And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that this artist is also the writer of House of Cards because there are snippets from House of Cards in this book. And so initially I was interested in reading House of Cards because there were art panels from that book. But I chose not to because it seemed like it was a very long fan fiction. And I'm just like, but yeah, there's like panels related to the story in this book. So I had heard of it, but again, like I said, it just seemed like it was really long, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to devote the time to it.
The drawings are pretty good, though.
Oh, the drawings are excellent. Like, this person is a really great artist. Like, that's stuff like this is the reason why I bought this. Like, it's
Wait,
so.
who is that?
This is Suga.
Oh.
And this is based on a skit that they did where he was dressed up as a girl.
Oh.
Yeah. And then this is Jimin. And let's see what else there is in here. Jimin. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That looks like a fucking photograph. It's so pretty.
Wait, let me see. Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah. I mean, the art in here is gorgeous. There's not enough Namjoon in here. I will tell you that right off the bat. I was a little bit disappointed.
How many drawings of him are there?
I think there's like maybe 2. This is very Jimin heavy. Very Jimin, Jungkook, and Suga heavy. But it's still very...
like J-Hope or
There is some Jen in here, not a whole bunch, and there is a little bit of J-Hope. Like here's a J-Hope right here. There's J-Hope right there. But yeah, it's mostly, definitely mostly Jimin and Jungkook. Those are the big ones in here. They have these really cute flower, cute's not the word, but they have these really pretty kind of flower portraits that I really liked.
So is like the ship supposed to be between Jimin and Jungkook?
Mostly.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, again, this is Noxim on Tumblr, Noxiim. On Twitter, it's Noxim Art, Noxiimart. And then I'm not sure what this person is in Instagram, but like I said, I bought this probably a year ago, so I don't know what they have available on their Twitter, their shop or whatever now, but this was really reasonably priced, and I just think the art is terrific. I when I buy fan art, I really am looking for like somebody doing something that other people aren't doing out there, and I just don't think anybody else is doing this caliber of artwork that way. There's a few other people out there that are super duper talented, but this is probably one of my favorite BTS fan artists out there. Another favorite that I really like is K Daily, Kaye Daily. Not just because the art is good, but because she does a series called Leg Man, and it's very interesting and abstract with a lot of kind of philosophical political overtones, but it doesn't hit you over the head with them. It's very, very interesting. You should check it out. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to pin down, but I really, really like it. K Daily. There's also Peaches and Queen that does good artwork. When it comes to Shiny, there's so many good artists. There's a couple I follow on the regular. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm just gonna have to do a Tumblr, not Tumblr. I'm gonna have to do a Twitter thread of like my favorite fan artist or something, just so people know like who I look at when I'm looking at fan artists. Heck, I almost forgot to mention one of my favorite fan artists of all time, Mason. So yes, I would link you to Mason's fan art, but I can't link you right now because his account is private. But Mason, who is MBK Pop 1997 here on YouTube, is an amazing artist. He went to Cal Arts. He's worked for DreamWorks. Like, he's a real artist. But he has done some really beautiful print work for K-pop. I have a really nice Gashina that he did, and I have a really pretty Jonghyun that he did, and he's done some EXID work. I think he's done Kim Lip, Eclipse from Luna. And I'm trying to think who else he did. I think he did the boots for Gugudan, perhaps. He's done a lot of different things, but he's not primarily a fan artist, obviously. He just did a Sailor Moon piece recently. But yeah, I really, really like Mason. I think that his artwork is incredible. He's done some fan art for me on commission. He also did my icon on Twitter. So if you're looking for me on Twitter, it's Shawel_360. And you'll know it's me because it's a drawing of a girl who looks a lot like me with a turquoise background. Yeah, I did an Itsy drawing as well. So Mason's one of my favorite fan artists because I know him and because I love his work. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I put that out there. So yeah, once I'm able to get the thread together, I'll post it on my page to let people know who the artists are that I follow, who I like. Just FYI, so you're already warned. I do like some NSFW artists, and I'm not gonna apologize for that because while some of the stuff they do is a little bit risque, sometimes a little bit raunchy, they also are incredible artists, like really great artists. They do a great job with what it is they're drawing. And so if you can get past the penises and the butts and the breasts, I think you'll find art-wise there's a lot of content there. But anywho, thank you guys for watching. I need to spend a little bit of time with my baby before she goes to sleep. Mama's baby. But yeah, I let's make a commitment to each other to try to make this shit fun because it hasn't been fun in a minute. So let's find fun things to talk about, and I will talk with you guys later.
Go outside more, eat more vegetables, but also eat well. Take care of your mental health.
Like Victoria said, get off the fucking internet.